Welcome back to City Skylines. So today I'm going to be working on a few different things. You see me working on the Skyline and placing some props, and that's just because today I want to start working on placing some props that I have and using some of them because I think that they're going to really help the city look a little better. I don't want to go into full detail on everything yet, but there are some things that I think can help just really quickly give some more detail. So like the cargo container props that I will be placing in the shipping area that we worked on last episode. So these props help just give more life, of course. But another thing I'm going to be working on is expanding the neighborhood that's outside of the Costco. So this neighborhood is very similar to the neighborhood that I've worked on in the past and neighborhoods that I will be working on in the future. So there's nothing really special about this neighborhood yet. There's no props, there's no life, there's not really anything. It's just the buildings that I will be placing, and I hand place these. I place them by each click. I don't copy and paste the buildings with Move It, just because I think it gives more it makes it more my touch, because I chose every building. I didn't really just copy a layout that I worked on and pasted it, and although it does save time, I think it comes out way better if you go through and hand place it. There's going to be rundown warehouses and other commercial on the outside of this neighborhood, because usually these neighborhoods do not run all up along the main roads. Sometimes they do, but usually on these roads that have more traffic, there's usually commercial and less people living along them, just because you want your business easily accessible for the people that need to get to them. So you don't want them on the outskirts. You want them to be right where they can be easily accessed, which is right along the main road. So I like to push the houses back a little and keep just the businesses and commercial along the main road. So you'll see that be done. One thing that I always do in this series is change up the skyline. I don't think I'll ever be satisfied with how the skyline looks, just because the more buildings that I place, the better view I get from different perspectives, and everything is constantly changing. So you see me take down height, add height, and it's just because I want to make the downtown more lively, and I want to make the downtown more realistic as well. Whatever I can do to sort of give a popping impression of the downtown, like this is where all the main stuff in the city is going. And I think the structure and the layout and the roads and how the airspace works is all factors into how lively and how walkable and how just how enjoyable it is to be in the downtown area of the city. So there's going to be a lot of building adjustments in this series. I'm going to be switching a lot of stuff around. So like I said, nothing is really ever permanent, but I want to try to slowly evolve the city so that it's not the same buildings that I originally placed, but it just morphs constantly and eventually gets to a look where I can be satisfied enough. So there's a lot of things that I've been wanting to work on in the city, but I really want to get the base of the city there and get neighborhoods and get other stuff and work from that, and then add the detail. And I placed a little bit of props, but that's nothing compared to what I want to do overall, and that is to really highly detail the city. But I think in order to do a highly detailed city, I need to place all of the buildings, because if I begin placing the props before I place down parts of the city and I slow my game down, it's going to be incredibly frustrating to go and expand into new whole parts of the city. So if I can place the buildings down first and then work in areas that might have a lower frames per second, but at least the buildings will already be there for me and I can just place the props. Whereas if I already placed the props before expanding in new areas, I would have to deal with frame rate issues and just slow place times, whereas I can avoid that issue if I just place all the buildings first and go through and place props after. Besides that, there isn't much to talk about, so I want to thank you for stopping into this episode, and I'll see you later.